Today we are reading I Don't Work Here Lady, but I will teach you about the joy of painting. I don't work here, I just like being helpful. I am the intern, not the victim. Fast food job advice? Sweetheart, we don't work here. We can refund you money we did not take. And, quickie, do you have your employee discount card? No? Let's try to reach 300 likes for this video and make sure you subscribe to enjoy the craziest and the funniest retail stories. For more I Don't Work Here Lady videos, check out the playlist in the description. Congratulations Dominic for the comment of the day, and now is the time to fight Karen. Let's do this. I do not work here, lady, but I will teach you about the joy of painting. I will keep it pretty short, but I have some good memories from my favorite local fine art supply store. Besides working digitally on my tablet monitor, I still occasionally work with ink and watercolor. I don't usually take commissions for traditional art since it can be more costly with shipping and supplies, etc. So, I don't get out to the shop downtown often. I ran out of some shellac inks and needed to restock illustration boards for Inktober, which merited a trip. I also had a good friend of mine, now a roommate, visiting from the other side of the country. We both enjoyed the arts and we decided to go together. It's a smaller shop and there is no formal uniform, just a name tag that staff wears. Most of their staff are younger since there are 3 colleges close by. I am in my late 20s with a young face, went to university for art, and generally know my stuff, so I am a big I don't work here lady target there. I also know the store well, so I don't mind putting things out. Both of us are in the store down one of their drawing media aisles, and I'm explaining a few of my media choices to my friend. She is still learning, so she asked me a lot of questions, and we have fallen into a rhythm with it. She went to go look at some Prismacolor pencil, and a sweet older lady timidly shuffles up to me. She quietly asks if the paints she has are good for beginners. I take a look at the paints and they are all pricey, professional quality oil paints. I did not see any mineral spirits or terpenoid on her either. I ask her a few questions about what subject she's interested in, if she's worked with old paints before, etc. She is brand new to all of it and has not done much since she was a kid, but she wants to learn how to paint landscapes. It's one of her bucket list items. We spent the next half hour or so going through the store. She got a set of student acrylic paints with a good pigment base, not cheap filling, that are much easier to work with when starting out. She learned that canvas pads were a thing and I helped her pick out some brushes and a palette. I also let her know that there were plenty of Bob Ross episodes online and helped her add the link to her home screen on her phone. I haven't had much luck with finding a decent job as an art teacher since university, and I don't work in a creative field while I'm going back to school for architecture. But being able to share art with other people like this is very rewarding. I've seen her one other time since then in the store. She got some more paint and we stopped to chat for a bit. I don't know if she knows I don't work there or not, but that's okay. My friend and I got a good chuckle out of it and she did not mind me being gone to help out. It still happens and we both smile at it. Have never had a bad time in the art supply store yet. Not sure if that sweet old lady is on Reddit, but if so, I hope your paintings make you as happy as teaching you made me. I don't work here, I just like being helpful. So I stepped into a pet store yesterday and was wandering looking for an item and walked past an older woman looking at cat food. I noticed her struggling with a bag and then she turned to me and asked, "Will you help?" I did because while I am not beaming ray of sunshine, I am also not a jerk who's going to let an old lady struggle to get large bags of cat food into her cart. I set my car keys and wallet down on the shelf next to the food and hauled some bags into her cart, which she thanks me for. She then goes into a huge pile asking me questions about the loyalty card, specials, and all this other stuff, to which I had to cut her off and go, "I'm sorry, I don't work here." Because I really did need to rush. She paused for a minute, looked me over, I was clearly not wearing the store's uniform, and then goes, "You're carrying keys. I assume you worked here." I was happy to help her. did not put me out of any, and she did end up apologizing. But I still don't understand the logic of keys equal employee, especially when you have as many keychains as I do. I am the intern, not the victim. So when I was 19 years old, I did a legal internship, the prosecution, and part of my internship involved courtroom observation, which was less exciting than the movies might lead you to believe, but still pretty cool. I'd be interning there for about a month when this happened. I talked to the judge on several occasions, just to say hello, and she had seen me deliver evidence to the attorneys, helped with some paperwork, and observed more or less every day. There was a case about possession of child pornography, super creepy defendant. Until the 16-year-old victim came in to be questioned, the jury thought that I was her and kept throwing me pitying looks. But they figured out once she gave her testimony and I delivered some folders to the attorneys. Then came the sentencing hearing. The judge wanted to give her thought on the matter, so she told the defendant to clean up his act, and then she looked me dead in the eye and said, "As for you, I hope you can get counseling to overcome this traumatic experience." I told her, "I'm not the victim." She blinked at me and started to tell me that I was right and I was a survivor, and then it hit her. "Oh, you're the intern." Yup. Fast food job advice? So this is not exactly an I don't work here moment, but I think it fits quite well with this team. I work at a fairly large hospital in the information system department as a clinical informatician. Basically, I help design workflows and processes for clinical documentation. Also train physicians and nurses on how to use the computer system for patient care. I went to a fast food restaurant for lunch a few weeks ago. Inadvertently, I left my name badge on. The young 18, 20-year-old guy, let's call him FFW, taking my order saw my badge and made small talk. "Oh, you work at the hospital. How are things there?" Me, generically, "Oh, keeping busy, always something going on." And that was the end of it. Fast forward a couple of weeks, I went to the same restaurant, not wearing my badge this time, and was helped by the same person. He recognized me and the following conversation took place. "Hey, you work at the hospital, right?" "Yeah, that's right." "Are you a nurse?" "No, I work in IT." "Oh, is that the ICU?" "No, that's information technology. I work with the computer system." I left it at that, not wanting to get into the details of what a clinical informaticist is. "Oh, sorry about that. I'm just an idiot sometimes." "Don't worry about it." I then completed my order and made my payment, again thinking that this was the end of it. He then took off his headset and asked, "Hey, can I ask you a question?" I expected a question along the lines of, "How do you get into that kind of field?" or something similar. I would expect this young man to be in school and perhaps looking at career options. Sure, I've got this hole in my eardrum. How long does that take to heal?" I stood there, staring at him for a couple of seconds, absolutely dumbfounded, thinking I had clearly communicated that I was not a clinician, and finally stammered out, "I have no idea. You should see a doctor about that," and started silently agreeing with his previous self-assessment. "Sweetheart, we don't work here." So I never thought I'd have a story to post here, but it happened. Just not in the way you might expect. I needed a few things for my house, so I loaded up my kids into the car and headed to the Dollar Tree down the road. Before anyone says anything, Dollar Tree is awesome and super cheap, great for single dads like myself. Now, my daughter is 3 years old and my son is 1. I was in the aisle with the detergent and Fabuloso and such, keeping an eye on my daughter who was messing with the shelf a few feet away from me. After grabbing what I need, I head back to find her organizing the cans of air refreshener sprays usually kept in the bathroom, grabbing all of the loose cans that had the same color and pictures on them and putting them back into the display box. "Honey, what are you doing?" "I'm fixing this. It needs to be fixed." "Okay, but it's time for us to go. We have to get home before it's time for your sleepover at Granny's house." "But Daddy, I have to fix this. They all need to be together." "Sweetheart, we don't work here. We need to go. If we are late, we won't be able to go to Granny's house." Oh no, you're right. We gotta go, Daddy. Let's go now. We then proceeded to pay, and the lady at the register heard the whole conversation and was laughing while saying I had such a great little helper. It was a fun time for all. It's not one of the most dramatic posts like I've seen on the top posts of all time, but I thought it was cute and wanted to share. We can't refund you money we did not take. This may be a stretch for this subreddit, but here it is. I was working in an insurance call center at 9 p.m. for a smaller insurance company that I will call Spooky. Angry customer AC and M for me. Thank you for calling Spooky Insurance Customer Care. How may I help you? You need to put my money back right now. I told y'all I could not have it and you took it anyway. I will be happy to take a look into that. May I have your policy number, or would you like me to look it up by your name? Side note, it is common for us to get calls about not stopping a draft or withdrawing funds when we're not supposed to. Darn human error. I don't have that memorized. Shouldn't you know my policy number? Isn't that your job? I would be happy to look it up for you. What is your name and zip code? Look up old policy from 10 years ago, verify no other policies for her. Well, you haven't had insurance with Spooky Insurance for 10 years, so we did not take any money out of your account. Yes, you did, and you're going to put it back in right now. This is Spooky Insurance Company. I think you have us confused with someone else. I know who I call. You took my money. I want it back. Okay, why don't you send me a screenshot of your bank statement? Okay, but then you are putting that money back. You had no right to take my money. I open up the screenshot. How much was the charge for? You should know you took the money. Idiots taking $200 out of my account without permission. I find the charge. Okay, so you see where it says Order Lodger Insurance Company? Yes. Well, we are Spooky Insurance Company. So? Well, we did not take your money because you don't have insurance with us. You have it with the Order Lodger Insurance Company. I don't care who took it. You have to put the money back. I don't work for the Order Lodger Insurance Company, so I can't put it back. You're lying. You had no right to take that money, so put it back. If you want your money back, you have to call the Order Lodger Insurance Company. No, I want you to give me back my money. I can't because I don't work for them, so you should call them. Goodbye. Click. I would think that the name of the Order Insurance Company on her bank statement would have given her a better idea of who to call. Quickie, do you have your employee discount card? No. Many years ago, I worked for a big box chain with a very distinctive khakis and colored top uniform. One day, I was running a register and ringing up a woman I did not recognize, but who was wearing the company uniform. The store had a very high turnover rate and was a short distance from several other stores, so it was not unusual to ring up employees I did not know. Do you have your employee discount card? My what? I'm not an employee. There's a brief pause as she takes in my uniform and her own outfit, then a look of enlightenment dawns. So that's why people kept asking me for finding things. I did not even realize I was wearing this. We had a laugh about it and I gave her the employee discount since she was an honorary employee. Guys, before you leave, please check out our awesome I Don't Work Here Lady playlist. I am sure you will love it. Remember to help us reach 300 likes for this video, subscribe to the channel for more awesome Reddit stories, and hit the bell button to know exactly when we post a new video and join the notification gang. Thank you again for watching this 35th episode of I Don't Work Here Lady. See ya!